In Lynn news, last Tuesday, Professor Robert Watson held a seminar highlighting the problems professional journalists are facing in our politically divided country. Are the most loudest and extreme voices dominating the coverage? Here's reporter Allison Wallace.
It's currently Tuesday, October 1st. We're here at the Wold Center attending the dialogue series with your host, Robert Watson. During this dialogue, Watson will interview 3 guest speakers about the media, the campaign, and their thoughts for the elections. I asked Michael Williams how he viewed the electorate in this upcoming election.
I think if you read the surveys, it certainly suggests that Americans are more divided. I think there's some legitimacy to that concern. It's funny, though, I also talk to everyday Americans. I'm one of them. And when you talk to people, a lot of people want to shut out the noise. I think there is also, in today's society, the loudest voices on, let's say, the far left and the loudest voices on the far right tend to dominate in some ways the discussion. So while I do think there's more obvious polarization, I also am hopeful that if you dig deeper, there are a lot of Americans who simply want the noise to stop, want us to figure out a way to, if not unify, at least have civil discussions about our differences, and sometimes are frustrated that only the loudest and most strident voices seem to capture the media high ground. And as people in the media, like you and me, it's incumbent on us to make sure that we're not just listening to the noise, but we're also listening to more thoughtful voices who together would like to find a way forward. I'm not sure we're doing a good enough job of that in the media. It's too easy to get the loud voice, the strident voice, the angry voice, and say, well, that's how we all are. So is there division? Absolutely. Do we need to probe even more deeply as reporters, producers, people in news to look at the more nuanced picture there, as it may exist? I think so.
I asked Antonio Fins whether the media has changed in its approach to handling candidates.
A lot of it has to do with the fact that there is way more commentary out there about these issues. There is way more interest in these elections than there used to be. When I first started, you talk to people about an election, they would say, well, no, I'm not going to vote because my vote doesn't count. Then after the 2000 election, when Florida was decided, and this election was decided by 537 votes, you didn't hear that anymore. What I've seen now is that wherever you go, people are talking politics. I mean, everywhere. You go to the kid's birthday party, people are talking politics. You go to the bowling alley, people are talking politics. You go to anywhere, you go to the restaurant, people next door to you. There's just an enormous interest in this. And as a result, the breadth of scope it's a much bigger arena.
I don't know that the equal coverage rule is always going to apply. I have a lot of critiques and criticisms of how national networks have been covering the past few presidential elections because, I think every single time one of the candidates, goes to the dentist or does something small, it's not breaking news. It's not going to change your day. So we've really, I think, got to do a better job at picking out what are the candidates doing that is actually going to make a difference in the campaign, in someone's vote. We've got to think about the journalistic purpose of the story. Is it just to get a headline, or is it to explain one of their policies, or some more context behind a piece of behavior or an incident or analysis? But I think we've done so much of everything is breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. And we need to, I think, take the pedal off a little bit and cover the candidates from that more policy-driven perspective.
A big thank you to all the guest speakers for coming out today for the event. I'm Allison Wallace for iPulse News.
A few weeks ago, Lynn University held its annual involvement fair in the Christine Lynn University Center. Excitement ran throughout as students decided what club caters to their interests and passions. Swanson Gibson Jr. gives us a recap of what transpired.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Lynn University for the 2024-25 academic school year. We're here in Elaine's right now for the involvement fair as numerous students look to join a club and community. Here's a look at what we saw earlier today. From cinema to fashion, dozens of students went table to table, finding what community fits them best. iPulse News spoke with several representatives discussing the structure and operations of each club. President Bianca Kane gave insight about the film club.
We're movie nights. This is a good club for students, whether they're an incoming freshman or they've been here since junior year. It's a fun way for students to get involved on campus in a stress-free way. I mean, you just bring food, we have movies playing, and it's really low-key. So.
United Airlines First Officer Justin Solomon details the objective of the Aviation Club.
This is our second year going into it, and it's really beneficial to the aviation students. We come in, we talk about what it's like to be a pilot. They're really thirsty for that information, and then they can apply it when they get hired at an airline, and it kind of makes it a little bit easier for them to start.
Peter Van Buren gives us a look into fashion.
We do a lot of fashion oriented events, so we're going to New York Fashion Week next week, and we host meetings, and we rate runway looks and red carpet looks and stuff like that. And we help people learn how to find their confidence through styling and looking at how clothes work on different body types and stuff like that.
Another successful involvement fair, as many students align with their passion.
I'm Swanson Gibson Jr. for iPulse News.